switch mechanism, or code switching as we call it, is when someone has knowledge of two languages and uses them on a regular basis. And this is when they're using one of their languages, and for a variety of different reasons, the other language kind of intrudes into this language, or vice versa, they're using the other language and their first language intrudes into their second language. And this can happen consciously, it can happen subconsciously, it can happen, this can be a positive or a negative. So, and I feel that when it happens consciously, it relates more to the positive side, and when it happens unconsciously, it's more of a negative. And some of the positive connotations are that it can help you express a point more clearly if everyone knows the second language. Sometimes the second language might be easier to convey, or you just have a better grasp on one of the languages and are able to get a point across more clear. So that can be one of the positives. One of the negatives may be that you don't have complete control of that language. You have a passive control of the language, and you're not able to express it in that language, so you decide to use your native language, and that native language kind of protrudes into your second language. So that can be one of the negative connotations associated with it. And I know that this happens to me quite frequently, even using my second language comes into my native language, English. I've noticed when I'm with hearing friends and I'm talking about some specific explanation of how something works, an engine on a car, or how to put a bike together, that sort of thing, I find myself not being able to find the correct prepositional phrases to use in English, and I'm showing it on my hands and explaining it. And although I'm talking, it's not really clear. What's clear is what's on my hands and what I'm showing. So I feel like that's my second language protruding into my first language, and it's just clear. I'm talking, but it's not exactly clear without using my hands to show how it works and that sort of thing. And I'm just not really able to find the right words to describe what I'm saying. And with that said, my first language, English, I know protrudes more into my sign language a lot more of the time, and I find this to be true when I'm interacting with deaf people, hanging out with them once in a while, but normally the conversations I'm comfortable with because I'm kind of in control of the conversation. I can pick and choose when I want something to be said. With that said, I find myself having this first language protrusion most of the time when I'm interpreting for different class projects that I need to interpret, or just on my own time interpreting. I hear an English word, and because that word is unfamiliar to me, I'm not exactly sure how I would sign it. So I find that word coming over into so I find myself coming up with that word in my second language and not being able to express it clearly, or that sort of thing. And I end up fingerspelling it, and there's no expression. And if whoever I'm talking to doesn't understand that word, then they're not going to have a grasp on the meaning of it. It happens a lot of times when I'm in when I'm talking about different kind of nutrients for food and that sort of thing, where I'm not sure if there really is a sign or is not a sign for that. So I feel that sometimes happens, and I can notice the the difference between when I'm talking about a topic that is an active topic for me, and I think this relates to one of our models, our active versus passive control of a language, but how you said it can also relate to a topic. So if a topic is in my active zone in my brain, I feel it's easy to talk about. I can discuss it in depth and can use the correct classifiers to explain it, and it comes out clear. Whereas, on the other hand, when I'm talking about a topic that I'm not familiar with, I feel that the classifier choices I use maybe aren't correct, and it's and it just gets confusing, and I'm not able to express myself how I want to express it or convey the message and get the message across. So I think